tastes like sour apples. This bag of pinto beans is roughly 50,000 calories. This plant here is called greenbrier. And the young shoots, the young ends, tips, leaves are edible. And it tastes a little bit like green beans, like a raw green bean. There's a really good one right there. These daisies are not only pretty to look at, but their leaves are delicious. They're sweet. Sweet tasting leaves right there. Fire ants. If you can get past the fire ants, their larva is not bad if you fry it up. Termites are better, not as aggressive. This one's called red dead nettle, I believe. It's got a square stem, kind of like a mint. This one's a young sourwood right here, sourwood tree. Tastes kind of like, the young leaves don't have much flavor at all. The older ones, the more mature leaves, actually have a more distinct flavor. It tastes like sour apples. This is a white pine, and the inner bark of the white pine is edible. You peel away this inner bark right here, that strip, and that you can chew on and get some nutrients out of right there. In the springtime, it has this kind of a really strong pine taste in the beginning, but after you chew it for a second, it's got a little bit of sweetness to it. These are maple trees. Really easily identifiable leaf right there. You could tap into these and get their sap. This is one of my favorite wild edibles. And for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of this plant. So in the comments, please tell me what the name of this is. Good grief. It's the one I eat probably more than anything. Tastes like lemons. Really like it. What the heck, man? That's really frustrating. I've gone through the alphabet twice. Here's another wild edible. The name escapes me, so leave it in the comments if you know that one. This one has a square stem as well, so it makes me believe that it's probably in the mint family. It might be called cleaver. Correct me if I'm wrong. That one might be called cleaver. Ferns, the fiddleheads, right here before they open up, I have been told is like asparagus when cooked correctly. I have tried it and I thought they were absolutely terrible. Did not enjoy it whatsoever. This is narrow leaf plantain right here. Pretty easy to identify as well. More medicinal than edible. I mean, you can eat them, but it just doesn't taste really bitter. It's very astringent. That's what it's used for. Drawing properties. Put it on, chew it up, put it on a bee sting. I've used it with good success on my kids for sure. Blackberry. And while there's no berries on it right now, the young leaves I have had really good success with boiling up, eating, kind of like greens. And you can also chew the fresh ones if you'd like, and it helps with stomach ailments. If you've got an upset stomach of some sort, seems to do the trick. Those are persimmon trees right there. No leaves, well, very small leaves on them at the moment, but the orange fruit is pretty good. Not too shabby for a wild fruit anyway. This is a grapevine, muscadine, wild grape right there. Wild strawberry. You could eat the leaves. Berries obviously are good. The willow here, the inner bark, can be chewed up and used as a pain reliever, similar to aspirin. This plant looks like cattail, but it is not. Don't eat that. Pretty to look at, but don't eat it. And searching for ramps, they're popping up this year. And when I was turkey hunting yesterday, they were everywhere. I was surrounded by them, but trying to be too sneaky to dig for ramps. And now that I'm in a different location, 0 ramps. It's hard to be had. This little guy is called Pipsissewa, good for kidney stones. Here's a healthy-sized oak tree. This year I have plans of harvesting some acorns and seeing if I can make those into some sort of flour, perhaps. Of all of the livestock, chicken probably make the most sense for most people because you can free range them unless you got a real big predator problem. We've had some issues with that for sure, but they lay eggs and you can eat them when they stop laying eggs. So it's kind of a win-win and pretty hard to beat a chicken. I feed my chickens almost nothing. Maggie hates him. This is my dad's dog. He's the nicest dog ever. Maggie can't stand him. Farming, gardening is a great idea. Very, very smart. These are my blueberry bushes right here. Been working on those, getting those, producing fruit. Most have fruit on them already, so that's gonna be really nice. I was really fortunate yesterday and was able to kill a turkey. And here's the turkey breasts. Fantastic. A lot of effort went into that though. What? Ow, gosh. Get off of me. Why do you hate him so much? Why do you hate him? He's such a nice dog. Hey! He's annoying, yes. All right. Stop. Being able to identify, harvest, and utilize, prepare wild edibles and medicinals, I think, is a really important idea. I think it's worthwhile. I think it is a skill that you should at least put a little bit of effort into acquiring. However, I could roam these hillsides all day long looking for wild edibles. Jeez, with a rifle on my back and ready to slay anything that's edible. And I would still probably end up at a deficit. It's going to be survival, and it's not going to be thriving. It's not going to be a comfortable livelihood for me or my family if I'm totally reliant upon wild edibles and hunting and foraging. So even if I was the best hunter, even if I was out there slaying them, it's going to be tough. Because, if you're a hunter, you know how it works. How often do you go out and come back with nothing? It happens a lot, right? Stockpiling rice and beans and canned foods, canned meats and stuff is a really, really good idea. And it's just smart. It's just an insurance plan. This is about 1,000 calories right here, give or take, this small bag of beans. 1,000 calories is no joke. It's hard to track down 1,000 calories in a wilderness setting unless you shoot a large animal. This can of beef right here, 1,000 calories, right? So this right here, put these two together and I've got 2,000 calories. That is, your typical daily allowance, caloric needs for an adult. It will never be cheaper. It will never be less expensive. It will never be easier to acquire stuff like this. I can literally, with my fingers, and a credit card, I can order this and have it shipped to my house. I don't have to go anywhere. 0 calories expended basically to acquire this. 0 time. All it takes is a little bit of money, and it's really not that expensive. This 25-pound bag of rice has 40,000 calories in it. This bag contains 40,000 calories. That's roughly 20 days of calories for an adult human, right? 2,000 calories per day if we're using the easy math. That's incredible. How much effort would it take for me to farm something like this? Even if I could grow rice here, which I can't, not successfully at least. Even if I could, what would go into that? The equipment requirements, the land, the irrigation needs, all of that stuff. It's just not really going to be a thing. And there's no possible way that you can get this 20 days of food cheaper and easier than just buying it right now. This bag of pinto beans is roughly 50,000 calories in this 50-pound bag. Ballpark 25 days of my caloric needs right there. Inexpensive, easy to get, lasts a long time. So yeah, the smartest, easiest farming you can do is just on the internet. Go to Costco and buy foods in bulk, dehydrated, freeze-dried meals, all that kind of stuff that lasts a really long time. put it away for safekeeping. If you should ever need it, it's there. It's an insurance policy. Look at it that way. Now, with that said, as soon as you start dipping into that, let's say, the zombies come, the SHTF situation's here, the EMP strikes, the World War III is upon us, and we've been invaded by whoever. Now that as soon as you dip into your stockpiles, you've started the clock, and it's going to last until it lasts, and that's pretty much it. So that's where having the skills, the knowledge, the tools, the property to be able to farm, to be able to grow your own food really, really, really shines and comes into play when things are no longer going to be as easy as just ordering it. No longer just running down to the store and filling up the back of your car or truck with dried rice and beans. So not only do we learn how to hunt and fish and gather wild edibles and how to process them, medicinals, that's important too, but we stockpile, we gather up the rice and the beans and the canned foods and meats and all of that stuff, and then we also invest some time, some energy into learning how to grow our own food so we can be that much more secure. So that 3-tier method, I think, is a pretty big deal, and I am definitely no expert. I have many, many weaknesses, and I need to improve upon all of that drastically. It's a big deal to me to improve upon all 3 of those, and I encourage you to do the same, because the more prepared that we are, the more we can help the people around us. The less chaotic our lives will become when those crazy dire situations should present themselves. So anyway, I hope this was helpful, guys. I really do appreciate you watching. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, leave comments, ask me questions, tell me what you think about this topic, and I can't wait to see you on the next video.